Be careful out here, man.
First Peter chapter 5 verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversaries, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
Right. He said, be on your guard, be sober, be vigilant. Be aware out here, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about. He goes, seeking whom he may devour. He said, seeking whom he may devour. Right, so he'll be coming over here. Let me get your Mordecai. Oh, no, he's doing the spirit. All right. Let me get your Quat. No, he's doing too well. But he comes up on Shawab. And Shawab's not doing too good today. He tries to catch me slipping, man. You've got to be on your watch because you don't want to slip. All right. Bring it out in Job.
This is the book of Job, chapter 2 and verse 1. Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord. And Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. And the Lord said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth.
From what?
From going to and fro in the earth.
From what?
From going to and fro in the earth.
And then what?
And from walking up and down in it.
From what?
And from walking up and down in it.
Rock over Yahawashi. I've seen the videos. Yahawah, bahasham, yahawah.
You watch the videos?
Yeah, I watch the videos. It's very, enticing, fun, and very edifying. So,
all praises to the Most High. What have you learned from the videos?
I've learned from the videos that, pretty much, quite a lot of stuff, biblical verses, there are a couple that I know. Esau have I loved. No, sorry, Esau have I hated, Jacob have I loved.
Right.
That's the book of Romans, and then there was also the book of Revelation, the market gifts, the horrifying images. They are very dangerous. And also, Elon Musk trying to use Neuralink. I don't want to say too much information because.
Yeah, bro, we know.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of the devil, man. Say what you want to say, bro.
It is what it is, but God's I am a man of God, and I do walk, and not in science or with lights. I do side with the Most High. Can't keep one foot in and one foot out. You gotta be in the right side and not the wrong side.
You can't be on the fence either.
Exactly.
You can't be in the middle.
Exactly.
You gotta be on one side.
Exactly. There's no can't buts or ifs about it. Literally, it is what it is. An inspiration from Yahawashi. I want you to be on the side. Thank you so much.
All praise to the Most High. Bahasham Yahawashi. But can I ask you though, brother? Did you learn anything about the commandments, about keeping the commandments?
Yeah, keep the Sabbath, honor your mother and father.
Right.
Do not covert. Do not steal. Do not kill. Do not perform adultery.
Right.
There's a couple of more.
There's a lot more. There's the whole Torah, Genesis to Deuteronomy. That's the commandments you got to do and don't do what he says in those books.
Absolutely. The books of Exodus, it also says, try to keep the Sabbath holy as well.
He didn't say try though, he said keep the Sabbath.
Yeah.
So that means on a Saturday, Friday sundown to Saturday, because the Most High doesn't deal with 12 o'clock midnight.
Obviously, I said this last night to my friend as well. It's actually Friday sundown to Sunday sundown.
Right.
That's when you can start eating.
Right. Well, you can eat, you just can't cook anything. Like if you make sandwiches, you can eat sandwiches and stuff.
Obviously. Everybody who actually knows the faith actually knows that, it's a blessing to actually see you guys,
Yeah, it's good to see you, bro.
I'm in good spirits right now.
What's your name?
My name is Dwight, but call me Kwabina.
Really?
Yeah. Or you can call me Yasharahla. That's my Hebrew name.
That's fine.
Numbers chapter 15 verse 16 to 38. Speak unto the children of Israel and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations.
Just for one generation.
Throughout their generations.
Right, so we need to make fringes in order to remember the laws, right? It's actually a sin to not wear your fringes, right? But so you've got the YouTube channel. You want to try and get in touch with us and maybe think about coming out here and start keeping these commandments because you've got a bit of knowledge.
Yeah.
You know what's up.
I do get my knowledge. I get it from you guys. That's how I know. The Bible.
That's been so.
And that's how I'm able to step into the truth. And I want to keep to that truth. And meet the right people to actually guide me down the right line. Narrow is the way for the way is the lion. Sorry, Matthew chapter 7 verse 13, is it? Yeah, bring out Matthew chapter 7 verse 13. Please read it out. It's a very good verse, guys. Bring it out!
Come on.
That's right.
It needs to be up here, man. Ready.
You're in the wrong side.
Come over here.
Matthew chapter 7 verse 13. Enter ye in the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat.
So he said, wide is the way.
Yes.
So everybody out here is going on that way. He said the way is narrow, right?
Yeah, it is.
So you can't be doing what everybody else is doing.
Exactly.
Right?
You
needs
know,
to be doing
the
what's
way is
right.
narrow. So what the Bible's telling us is that, you know, narrow is the way. So basically, only a few will actually go into that narrow gate.
Right,
You know?
right.
And those that know the truth will pass by that narrow gate.
Right.
The wide way,
gate.
the wide gate is those that just ignore the truth and just do what they do. You know, they don't know God. They don't have God in their hearts, and because of that, they're going to be led to destruction. 2/3.
The 2/3. There you go. That's right, man. No prison. It's on
What's up?
Zephaniah 2:1 before we do it.
Yeah.
Book of Zephaniah 2:1.
Bring it out.
Gather yourself together. Gather yourself together, O nation that desire.
Yes. Nation that desire.
Before the decree bring forth, before they pass, as a shaft before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you.
Yes.
He said, before the Lord's anger comes, get yourself together, get yourself ready, right? Read the next verse.
It's already, yeah.
What's this? What's this?
Seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which have growth, his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger.
He said, if you seek righteousness, it may be that he'll hide you in the day of his anger, man.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
everybody else is getting judged. He says, hey, you get back here.
Exactly.
I've got you, right?
Exactly. This reminds me of the story where you know the story of Moses. You know where they had to like cut the lamb's neck, use the lamb's blood, and paint over the door. You know, again, this is how they were able to avoid God's anger. You know, God's fury. You know, so they wouldn't kill the firstborn son. You know, this is exactly what's going to happen again. History is going to repeat itself, but it's going to happen with the masses this time, and not killing the firstborn son. You know, because God is furious. And trust me, these eyes are red. He's like, he's staring from the corner, man. You know, and he's like, these people.
He's angry with the wicked every day.
Oh yeah, he's angry at the wicked. Like literally, God sees the goodness and the horrible. God even knows what we're thinking. You know.
Right,
That's
right. He's
scary.
a discerner of thoughts, man.
So I am God fearing, and I get goosebumps every day I think about him. You know.
God.
Because he
So,
knows me more than I know myself. He even knew me in the womb.
but let me ask you, bro, where are you at with commandments, though? Like,
Commandments.
you know, not trying to put you down. You know, I'm just wondering where you're at. Like, what's the game plan?
What's the
You
game
know?
plan with
Yeah.
you? How do you mean now?
Like, what's going forward? What are we going to do as far as keeping the commandments goes?
Just keep the commandments, innit? Keep
Uh,
the holies.
Need to get some fringes.
Oh yeah.
Can you grow a beard?
That's what I've been trying to do. It's not very easy. I've
not
heard
easy, bro.
listen, my brother's been trying to get me to show my beard. I'm like, no, heck no.
Ah,
You
bro.
know, back in the old days, yeah, we used to like grow beards, you know? Having a beard back in Hebrew times was a sign of honor.
It's manlyhood. It's a badge of honor for a man.
Exactly. So that's what I've been telling him, but he says, oh yeah, we're not living in old times anymore. I'm like,
My dad says to me all the time, he's like, do you need me to buy you a razor?
thank you. You know, you did get it, but yeah, it was good to meet you guys. You know, I got to shoot. You know, it's really been lovely. You know, I've been watching your videos. It's been really passionate, and you know, I'm just really grateful to be up here. That's all I can say.
Let me show you.
Hello.
Let me,
No, it's fine.
That's fine.
It's okay. You know, they'll come into the truth soon. But yeah, it was lovely meeting you guys.
let me get you one
One
scripture.
more, yeah, one scripture. You guys are blessable men of Yahawashi, and you're an inspiration.
Praise to the Most High.
This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 2 and verse 1. Go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man.
Right, so David, the context here is David is about to pass, right? He's about to die.
Yeah.
So he's spitting game to his son Solomon. He said, "Shew thyself a man," and he's about to expound upon that. He's about to explain how to show yourself a man. So what being a real man looks like, right? Read on.
Verse 3. And keep the charge of the Lord thy God.
And do what?
And keep the charge of the Lord thy God, to walk in the ways, to keep his statute and his commandments and his judgments and his testimonies
So he said to be a real man and to prosper, we need to keep the commandments.
Fear
bro.
no fear. Have no fear. Listen.
Fear no man.
Only Yahawah. Only Yahawah.
Fear
Shai.
Yahawah,
Yeah. Only Yahawah. He's the only person you should fear. Fear him in spirit and in truth.
Right,
you know?
right.
All the things of this world, yeah, cannot be feared. You know?
Right.
Because then you are of divine intervention in Yahawah's name.
And the thing is, this is where faith comes into play as well, because
Exactly.
like the Pharisees, they were keeping the law because they had to keep the law. They weren't keeping the law. They didn't circumcise the flesh of their heart, which means to serve in truth is to sin. They were doing it because they had to, not because they wanted to.
Exactly.
Which is why Paul had to get on people's hearts so much about faith,
Yeah.
right? Like in Romans,
Yeah.
and things like that. So, you know, just work on getting fringes. There's plenty of websites.
I already
grow the beard.
have the fringe in my home, you know, but should I wear it daily?
Every day wear your fringes, and don't be. It's like I don't want to run you on too much, but
No,
give
no.
me Sirach 42. Is it 42? Or is it 32? Where it says things you shouldn't be ashamed of.
Yeah, let's just one more verse.
I don't want to hold you to it.
No, it's fine. I'm glad this is happening. Oh gosh. Bring it out.
Oh.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 42 and verse 1. Of these things be not thou ashamed,
Right, so he's going to list some things you shouldn't be ashamed of.
and accept no person to sin thereby of the law of the Most High.
The what?
Of the law of the Most High.
Right, so it's a law to keep the fringes. Don't be ashamed to wear your fringes.
I feel
Don't be
blessed.
ashamed to grow your beard.
Yeah, you know.
You know.
And his covenants and his judgment to justify the ungodly.
To justify the ungodly.
I mean, Yahawashi has actually led me up to this point, you know. It's,
Yeah.
it's great to actually. I was actually supposed to go to Tesco's, but I thought, I'm supposed to come around this area because I'm actually missing smoke. And he led me here. And I
Exactly,
to meet
bro.
you guys, you know, and I'm glad to actually meet you guys.
Yeah, we'll come out here. We'll be out here again in 3 weeks if you've got more time next week.
Yes, sir.
Show it back here.
That's right. Yeah.
You said you was going to go into Tesco's.
Yeah.
We have to reaffirm with you and remind you that today is the Sabbath day.
Yeah.
And for the love of our brother, we say to you,
Don't go there.
whatever is happening on the Sabbath day is for you to keep the commandments. And today is a very important day, so we advise you, and in righteousness correct you, that on the Sabbath day, we start from sundown Friday yesterday to sundown this evening.
I should
From Sunday up to last night, at time to have gun demonstration. So now, today, knowing what you know,
No eating.
no, it's not a fast.
Okay.
No shopping, no buying, no selling, no cooking, don't put on the microwave, don't lie down with your woman, not doing anything of your own pleasure. That's what the
It's a day
Sabbath
of rest.
Right, and read the scriptures and edify yourself. So we have to tell you that because we see that you know what's been going on and you
I'm a watchman.
have a love for the word that you're receiving. So we have to give you this love now and show you that the Sabbath day is very important for you to know. Whatever happens, King, don't be out here on the Sabbath day buying anything or partaking of what the word is, as you said a little earlier on. Yeah? So we have to tell you that.
Just gonna remind me. Sorry.
Just last one, what you said, just expand on what you said, which we heard. Just one piece.
One more scripture.
Yeah. Proverbs chapter 19, verse 24.
Bring it up.
Man's goings are of the Lord. Go on. Proverbs 20 and 24. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own ways?
Right, so man's goings are of the Lord. How can you understand your own way? What made me what down here? You know, the Most High brought you down here. You was thinking you were going to go to Tesco and you felt something in your spirit saying, I need to walk this way. That's the Most High bringing you here. You know, you don't realize
I
that.
can feel my spirit just so that I can get
Right.
the word.
And this is the very, very last one, and we'll let you
Very
go.
last one, King.
Go ahead. I can stay here for quite a
This
while.
is the book of Hebrews,
That's right.
chapter 10 and verse 26. For if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifices for sin.
Right, so if we sin willfully, which means, you know what sin is, don't you?
Yeah, I know.
Breaking the law.
Yeah, those that sin willfully, they know exactly what they're doing. Like I said before, God does know the intention and hearts of others. Me, You know, I don't do it. Maybe I do sin, but it's indirectly, you know. And we do it on day-to-day basis, you know.
Right, but there's a difference between being a sinner and slipping up.
Okay.
You know, so we all slip up sometimes.
Okay.
But are you actively making a difference, or are you just constantly like you don't care, you're just doing your sins?
Yeah, the people that think that way, I stay away from them because I know there's some
He said if we sin willfully, which means if we choose to sin, if we choose to break the law after we've received the knowledge of the truth, there's no more sacrifice.
Yeah.
Which means anything you do, you kind of owe that. You know what I'm saying? So those sins worthy, breaking the Sabbath is a sin worthy of death, bro. You need to fear the Most High and think, nah, I'll save it till sundown, and then you can go to Tesco, right? You know what I'm saying? But you just need to, yeah. And that's love, bro. That's love.
Yeah, I need to tell my phone. I have a friend, Michael. He lives in Croydon. You know, pretty much he knows about you guys as well. In fact, I think he was the one who actually introduced me to you guys. You know, if he sees me, he's actually going to be seeing me. I'm going to show him the video. I'm going to show you y'all video.
Keep watching, man. Keep watching.
He's going to be surprised. Yeah, it's actually going to blow his mind. But yeah, he's the one who's been telling me, you know, to stay away from food. You know, and during Sabbath, I've also been telling him, so we keep reminding each other to take it turns. No, but yeah, it's nice,
no
you know,
praises, man.
having a strong will, you know, just gets us away from, you know, food and Sabbath because it's supposed to be a rest day. Yeah.
Build each other up, man. You know, getting the scriptures with each other and get in contact, bro. If you got the YouTube, we got an email. You can hit us on the email. Get in contact.
Yes,
and we'll get you right, bro. We'll get you right.
Yes, sir, that's right.
Good to meet you, bro. Good to meet you.
Bless you.
Come on, yasharahla. Come on, yasharahla. Praise to the Most High. Hey. Yeah, Lord willing, he gets in touch, man.
Sirach chapter 28 and verse 25. And weigh thy words in a balance, and make a door at the bar for thy mouth.
He said, make a door and a bar for thy mouth. You know, you need to kind of, you need to zip it, man. You need to zip it and lock it up, man. Because you can't just be talking loose. Like I say, he said that there's no vain words, man. There's no word that won't be taken into account. So once again, when he opens that book, if we didn't get right, and he's like, can you tell me about this that you said? Hey, you said this right here. Tell me about that. Explain yourself. You're not going to be able to explain yourself, man. You know, you want to be careful what you say. You want to be even careful what you think, man. Because he said the thought of foolishness is sin. So you got to really circumcise, you know, the foreskin of your heart, yeah.
Verse 26. Beware thou slidest not by it, lest thou fall before him that lieth in wait.
Can't. If you fall by him that lieth in wait. What did we say about the devil? He's walking up and down, to and fro, finding people who may devour, right? You know, and did we finish in Job? We finished in Job, bro. So we read in 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 8 that we need to be sober and vigilant because the devil is walking around seeking whom he may devour, right?
This is book of Job, chapter 2 and verse 3. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth Yahawah, and ensueth evil.
Right, so he said that Job was perfect because he feared God and he eschewed evil. To eschew means to turn away from. You kind of see it, you look away, you don't go that way, you go somewhere else, right? But he said, have you considered my servant Job, right? Satan came up. He said, Satan, where you came from? He said, I've been walking up and down, to and fro in the earth. Right? What was he doing? We just read that in 1 Peter 5 and 8. That he's seeking whom he may devour. He's looking for someone to catch slipping, right?
That's right.
So the Most High said, have you considered Job? So on a day-to-day basis, have you considered Yahweh? Have you considered Tazakwa? Have you considered my servants, man? He'll go and check you. He'll see how you're doing, man. He'll check if you're gonna fall or not. Yeah, don't be. Trying to get up in arms about it, man.
Psalms 48 verse 14.
Bring it out.
For this Yahawah is our Yahawah forever and ever. He will be our guide even unto death.
He'll be our guide even unto death, right? So like what we read before, first of all, it said he'd always be our God.
That's
He
right.
said he'd be our guide unto death. So what we read before in Proverbs chapter 3, he said acknowledge him in all thy ways and he will direct thy paths. He'll be your guide, man. He'll guide you. You don't know where to go or what to do, he'll guide you, man. If you keep his commandments, if you obey him, keep the commandments and the faith, right?
Right.
So yeah, we need to fear the Most High and keep his commandments if you want him to protect. He's not going to deal with you. You know, roughly Psalm 5 and 5. He's not going to deal with you if you're not keeping his commandments, if you're not obeying him, if you're not doing the things that please him, the things that he wants you to do. He's not going to deal with you. What? If you had a son, right, and he was constantly misbehaving, and then he had the nerve to come up and ask you for a new Xbox, you're not going to buy him one. No. You're going to punish him. You're going to tell him he can't leave his room. Stay there for however long. You know, you're going to punish your son. You're not going to reward him for not obeying. You can't expect the Most High to reward you and take care of you and look after you if you don't obey him, right?
Psalm chapter 5 verse 5. The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity.
He said he hates all workers of iniquity. So when people want to say that God doesn't hate, he said that he hates all people who work evil. Anyone who does evil, he hates. And yeah, he'll always love his children Israel, but he hates when we do evil.
That's right.
And he'll show that hate, man. He'll turn his back on us, and he'll let us, you know, be destroyed by our enemies, be taken into captivity. So we need to feel this.
Verse 6. Thou shalt destroy them that speak blessing. The Lord will abhor the bloody and deceitful man.
He said it abhor, which means to consider them abominable. He'll consider you an abomination if you're bloody and sinful, man. He considers you an abomination. Guess what? The Most High is going to do away with those things. So where does that leave you? That's why you need to get right. You need to fear the Most High. Nobody's above his will. Nobody's above his power. You know. Someone get me Deuteronomy 10 and 12. Someone get me Ecclesiastes 12 and 13.
Deuteronomy chapter 10 verse 12. And now Israel, what doeth the Lord thy God require of thee, but to fear the Lord, thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord.
To do what?
To keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes which I command thee this day for thy good.
For what?
For thy good.
So he commands us these things for our good, you know, because it brings health problems if you eat pork. So he commands you not to eat pork for your good, you know. Resting on the Sabbath, we need to get our rest in. It's good to rest. It's good to honor your father and your mother. You know, it's good not to lie. It's good not to steal. It's good not to kill. These things are for our good, right? And he requires this of us, which means that even if you don't want to do it and you're not doing it, it's still required of you, right? So what happens if you go to work, right, and you're kind of half-assing every day, you don't do what's required of you at work, what you've been told to do at the job site, out on the plantation, what's going to happen? They're going to fire you. They're not going to keep you around when you're not doing anything. They're going to fire you. So how much more the Most High? Righteously, he's going to sack you righteously.
Right. This book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahweh,
Do what?
fear Yahweh, and keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man.
Right, that's your whole duty. Your whole duty is to fear God and keep the commandments.
That's right.
Go on.
This book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 14. For Yahweh shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
Only the good things.
Whether it be good or whether it be evil.
Right, so he's going to bring every work into judgment, whether it's good or whether it's evil. You know, you might think that you can hide from the Most High, but he knows your sins. He knows the wickedness that you do. You know, he's not like men. He sees all these things. So he's going to bring every work into judgment, whether good or whether evil. So you want to get the most good works you can. You want to obey the Most High. You want to keep his commandments and the faith in Hamashiach Yahawashi. You know, because it's not just a faith-based thing. You need to keep works too, right? They say Abraham was justified by faith, but him having faith, what did he do? He offered up Isaac. You know, Lord, I believe you, but I'm not going to offer up my son. But I do believe you though. No, that's not how it works. He believed the Most High, so that's why he went to offer up Isaac. He showed his faith by his works, right? Give me that in James 2. He said, I will show you my faith by my works. You know?
Book of Romans, chapter 6 and verse 1. What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? God forbid. How shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein?
Right, so he said, just because we have grace, should we continue in sin? He said, God forbid. If we're dead in sin, how are we ever going to continue in sin? Right, because having grace doesn't mean that you can do whatever you want to do. Having grace means you get a second chance. This is why we know that the law is righteous, right? But he said that righteousness doesn't come by the law. That's because you can't, by the works of the law, because the works of the law can't deem you righteous. If you commit adultery, you can't be justified. You can't be brought back to righteousness. You have to die. The reason why you die is because you can't have any more righteousness, right? So righteousness comes by faith because we are redeemed through Yahawashi. We get a second chance at doing it properly.
This is the book of James, chapter 2 and verse 17. Even so, faith, if it had not works, is dead, being alone. Yea, a man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works.
He said, I will show you my faith by my works. Abraham had faith. How did he show that he had faith? He offered up Isaac, right? And it was counted to him for righteousness because he believed. He believed in the Most High. You know, the Most High said, offer up your son. He believed him, so he went and did it. If you believe him, you'll do what you need to do, right?
This is book of Revelation, chapter 22 and verse 11. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still.
Right, so he that is filthy, let him be filthy, right? So we'll rebuke you one time, you know, maybe a few times we'll rebuke you. But if you just want to be filthy, and you just want to be a sinner, and you just want to be in the world, do your thing, man. You want to be in the world. So it goes into what we were saying before about forgiveness, forgiving our brothers, and how he said, you know, 70 times 7, forgive your brother, you know, and rebuke him. But at the end of the day, if you don't want to come back to the Most High, then you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. That's what they say, right? So we can't make you drink of this water, man. We can't make you eat up this word. We can only lead you there. Man. So if you want to be filthy, be filthy. But guess what? If we want to be righteous, let us be righteous, man. Don't come up and start telling us about, oh, you don't need to do the law or this and that. No, just leave it be, man. Let us be righteous. Right? If we're filthy, let us be filthy. If you're righteous, go on.
It's the book of James, chapter 4 and verse 6. But he giveth more grace, wherefore he said, Yahawah resisteth the proud, but he giveth grace unto the humble.
Right, he gives grace to the humble, right? So if you humble down, you confess that you did wrong, you kind of recognize your sins, then the Most High will give you grace, right? But he'll resist the proud. If you want to be prideful and you want to walk around like you haven't done anything wrong and like you can't do anything wrong, guess what? The Most High is going to resist you. He's not going to have you. Right? So you need to humble down and repent, man. Repentance goes into turning away from, changing. Come on.
Verse 7. Submit yourself therefore to Yahawah. Resist the devil and he will flee from you.
He'll stick around.
Resist the devil and he will flee from you.
If you resist the devil, he'll flee from you. So when you're getting tempted to commit this sin or that sin, if you resist the devil, he will flee, right? You just need to stay steadfast, right? Get me 2 and 3. You need to stay steadfast. Someone get me 1 Corinthians 15:58. Someone get me Galatians 6 and 9. And I'm going to close out after that.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15 and verse 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast.
Be what?
Be ye steadfast, unmovable always, bounding in the works of the Lord, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord.
Right. Your labor is not in vain in the Lord. He said, abound always in the work of the Lord, man. Be steadfast, unmovable, right? So like we was reading earlier, when harsh words come, we don't get bothered by that stuff, man, because we're unmovable with the Lord. Great peace have they which love thy law, and nothing shall offend them.
Right. 2 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahawashi.
Khan, so he said, endure hardness. Go through hard times. Be steadfast. Be unmovable when these hard times come around, man. As a good soldier of Yahawashi HaMashiach. A good soldier, not a slothful servant, not someone who wants to do what they want to do. As a good soldier, you need to endure hardness.
It's the book of Galatians, chapter 6 and verse 9. And let us not be weary in the well-doing, for in the due season we shall reap if we faint not.
Khan, in due season we'll reap if we faint not. Be not weary in well-doing, man. Don't be weary when you come out here to do the work of the Most High, or when you keep the commandments and fulfill the laws. Don't be weary, because it's not in vain with the Lord. You'll have a good reward when that time comes, man. When that time comes, you'll have a good reward. I'm going to bring out one more, and then I'm going to close out and let the next mighty speaker come up and teach.
Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, 43 and 30. When ye glorify the Lord, exalt him as much as ye can, for even yet will he far exceed. And when ye exalt him, put forth all your strength, and be not weary, for ye can never go far enough.
Right, you can't praise him enough. You can't glorify him enough. You can't do enough good works for him, man. So always go as far as you can, because you can't go far enough. So go as far as you can. Do as much as you can. Go until you can't stand, man. Go until your feet fail, man. Last verse.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of Yahawah. The powers that be are ordained of Yahawah.
The powers that be are ordained of Yahweh. Any power structure that you see, any power structure, name one, it was ordained by the Most High.
That's right.
He allowed them to be in the position that they're in. He afforded them the power. So Esau is on borrowed power.
That's right.
And he's kind of spent a little bit too much. So when it's time to pay up and it comes up negative, guess what? It's going to be destroyed, man. 'Cause he's the cancer of this earth, man. He needs to go.
That's right.
But with that, we're going to glorify the Father and then we're going to close out.
Rakata Yahawah, Rakata Yahawashi, Rakata Yahawah, Rakata Yahawashi, Emmanuel, Shalom, Yasharahla, Yasharahla.